Well, this is the deadliest day since Holocaust that is being witnessed, today being the fourth day of the war-torn country Israel as it fight back Hamas terrorists. And in a bid to join the country and the soldiers there who are fighting on the ground, braving those Hamas terrorists, we get you this exclusive report from Addis Ababa there, where Pradeep Datta, our journalist who is en route Israel, will get you the details exactly how the current situation is looking as of now.
You were in Japan having vacation with your family members. How you felt at that point of time when these Hamas terrorists, they entered inside the Israeli territory and started targeting women and children?
I was very surprised. It was a serious escalation from previous attacks. Usually Hamas would restrict themselves to missile attacks or even try to keep some sort of impression of legitimacy by targeting military targets, but this was, again, this was like monsters out of a fairy tale, escaping from Gaza and dragging women and children out of their beds and just kidnapping them. So it was a serious escalation. I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime, and it was shocking. It was very shocking.
You are going back home. You want to be with your own people at this stage, at this critical juncture?
Yes. Honestly, I don't know where else to be. This is. It doesn't make any sense to try and escape anywhere else. This is our country. This is our home, and this is where we'll be, no matter what happens. So.
देखिए, बहुत ही सही बात इन्होंने की. ये हमारा घर है. जब हमारे घर पे हमला होगा, हम कैसे घर से बाहर रह सकते हैं, हम कैसे वेकेशन सेलिब्रेट कर सकते हैं, तो हम भी अपने ही उन फैमिली मेंबर्स के साथ जो कि इजराइल के लोग हैं उनके साथ रहेंगे, शाना बशाना रहेंगे, ताकि उनकी पूरी तरह से मदद कर पाए. What you really want the European Union to do? You think that they should stop funds or they should continue?
I think the European Union should take a long, hard look at what they've been funding all this time. They've been telling themselves this lie that they've only been funding the humanitarian side, but money is fungible. By funding what's supposedly a humanitarian side, first of all, the money ends up in Hamas's hands anyway, because they're the only organization within the strip that has the ability to distribute anything. And additionally, it frees up Hamas when they get these funds to focus on other things, again, like kidnapping women and children out of a neighboring country. So I think the European Union should, yes, they should definitely cease support of this terrorist organization, but I also think they should take a hard look of what they've been doing until now and what it's achieved.
How do you see that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the people of India supporting people of Israel at this critical juncture?
It's a blessing. It's so important, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the elected leader of the biggest democracy on earth, so having him speak out against these acts of terrorism is incredibly important. He's an important leader on the world stage, and people listen to what he has to say, so having him speak out against this is it's vital support.
Right now I'm joined by a family from Israel. They had gone to Japan for vacation, but when they came to know about this Hamas attack, they felt really, really bad. To speak to them, what really was going on in their mind when they saw the women and children being held hostage at that point?
Children being held hostage? It was a serious escalation that I haven't witnessed before in my lifetime. There have been isolated cases of deliberate targeted violence against children, but nothing on this scale. And I think what it puts in the mind of every parent in Israel that it could happen to them. It happened, the depth into the country that it happened. It wasn't a border skirmish, it was deep within Israeli territory, and it's very concerning. And the Israeli leadership needs to address this now. It's obviously they're working on it, but I imagine it's a concern for every parent in Israel.
How do you see this act of terror by Hamas? Because there are some countries who are trying to justify that. So how do you see this act of terror?
It's monstrous. If you can't stand against killing women and children just because they belong to a faith that you disagree with, then really there's no point in talking about human rights. There's no there's no way in my mind any of this could be justified. It would be, even if it happened as collateral damage, it would be unforgivable. But as targeted, deliberate civilians going to their homes, going to music festivals, it's monstrous.
See, they are saying what has been the fault of those civilians who were there in a festival mode, and all of a sudden these Hamas terrorists, they entered inside Israel. They started targeting the women and children had been even held hostage. They are now threatening that they will be killing those captives if Israel doesn't stop bombing them. So what do you have to say to this?
It's a clear war crime, and I think it's obviously the choice is in their hands, but I think the international community should take note of such a monstrous threat. This is what they've been financing. They've been financing people who are threatening to execute women and children to achieve a political gain.
So that's really very important. The money that the European Union had been doing, that was only falling into the hands of Hamas, that what they feed. You had only been feeding the Frankenstein monster. This is the time when you stop feeding them, because it's not basically feeding the people of Palestine. It's only like feeding the monsters and the terrorists like Hamas. One last question I'll be asking: how do you really feel the Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India? He has expressed solidarity, and India has been fully supporting people of Israel and Israeli government against the terrorists.
I've been following Prime Minister Modi for a while. He cuts an impressive figure. I don't always agree with everything he has to say, but overall he comes across as a very strong leader, and I've appreciated his words on the world stage, his words of support.
So this is really very important, because at a time when certain people are still looking at the vested political interests, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India, who has not only expressed solidarity with the people, he has condemned the attack, and that's what actually all of them really feel very happy about, because they feel he is a strong leader, and he has already set the ball rolling, and that's many other countries need to follow, because you can't justify war crime. This is the war crime that they have committed, targeting women and children, and no way that can be justified. And I really appreciate that despite all those difficulties, you are going back home to be with your own people, because that is the story of the resilience we are bringing you here from the Addis Ababa airport. See, they would have easily chosen to go to any other place, because at a time of war, nobody will prefer to go to that place. But they chose to be with their people so that they can help their people. They can be with them during the time of adversity. Deep Datta with Sachin Rawat for Times Now. How bad you feel the way they have targeted women and children here in Israel?
I mean, it's absolutely horrifying, and it's terrifying for me and for my family, and it's just barbaric. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it.
What is your message to the countries who are still trying to justify their act of terror?
No one can have, you're not going to get any sympathy for these sorts of activities. I mean, it's just, these are, targeting children is the lowest of the low. I mean, these are just innocent little people, and anyone who sympathizes with this, it's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying.
How do you feel the Indian Prime Minister supporting you, people of India supporting you, or everybody, they say I for India, I for Israel?
Israelis love India, and it's very comforting to know that we're getting some of that back in return, so it's very much appreciated.